All right, everybody. So today I'm going to be... Oh, wait. I'm going to make another video. Okay. Hey, everybody. So today I'm going to be talking to you about a project I've mentioned in the past. It's not Splinterlands like most of my other videos, but it's DeFi, the other stuff I get into. So we got Sparkswap. I introduced it a month ago. Did 2 videos pretty quick about it, but I haven't been doing that many updates, but it's doing what you would think for a DeFi spot. The coin's down to 24 cents. I think it was around 50 cents when I made my first video, pumped to like $1, came back down to a quarter. Again, though, this is not your typical DeFi platform. Yes, there's some interesting things going on over here. Yes, there's definitely some reason to be super excited, but again, this token's value is not really the key thing about this that makes it so special. Yes, it has your typical farms. They've added some new ones. They've added their EMP farm, paying 95%, which is creating some fun arbitrage for their own project, the EMP, because this is made by the EMP finance team. They've also added in a token called GOAT token here. This one's paying at 240% with a total of about $50,000 of liquidity in it. The GOAT token we'll talk about. I might do a total separate video about this, but I'll at least mention it. It works like the Up Always token contract versions over here on pulsechain. So the way you mint this token is you pay some Pulse to mint it. They take a 5% fee away from you, though. So let's say you were going to get 100 GOAT. You'd only get 95 of the GOATs in theory instead. And then that 5% over collateralizes the rest of the GOAT coins that have already been minted. So the next person who goes to redeem their GOAT coins, if they already had 100, they get more Pulse than you than they put into the project. The coin is always going to be worth more Pulse than it costs to mint them because of that 5% fee when you come in. Plus, there's a 5% fee when you go out. So yes, there's a 10% loss built into that if you were to mint it and redeem it on the same day. But now that they are on the Sparkswap DEX, there's 2 ways for people to make money on the GOAT token, which is kind of cool. You could arbitrage it back and forth over here. Because let's say GOAT token for some reason is going up in this pool, like Spark pumps a little bit to like 40 cents and now GOAT goes up because it's in this LP pool. Well, now you can pay Pulse, mint it, come over here, sell it into Spark, sell the Spark into Pulse, and you made some profit. All of this is good though because it creates trading and a lot of people moving money around over here. So that stuff's kind of cool. The big thing I'm going to be showing you today though is their bridge is now live. So we're on their bridge. Their bridge can right now go from BSC to Pulse or Pulse to BSC. The issue with their bridge today is that it is one of the best bridges out there, but you have to use their token. Now, you might not be comfortable doing this if you're not an EMP person, but eventually they're going to add in some additional tokens here so that you don't just have to swap in EMP. Why might you want to go to pulsechain? Well, if I go to my friend over here, Banter Bubbles, and we take a look at what's been going on recently in crypto, I don't know if it's going to be quite as good. So it's at 11% down if we go into the 24-hour, but that's only because it's come back down a little bit after pumping like 100%. Pulsechain is going to be an interesting place to be. You have to remember that what goes up does come down. That's the way things go. But when you go up 100% and you give up 10, 20, or 30%, you're setting yourself for that next leg up. And is that what Pulse is going to do? That is what a lot of the people over here using this ecosystem believe. So today, you would go to PancakeSwap, you would buy the EMP token. You can go to the EMP site. I'll go ahead and show it to you. I called it EMP Finance, but it's actually EMP Money. I just don't know why I have finance on the brain, but here's their site. It's been around for 5 years. Their token's currently a nickel. It is underpegged. They are working on a brand new complete change of their site to a program called EMP Fusion. And the main thing they're doing is they're trying to turn themselves from just a farming opportunity, which, as you know, doesn't really work for maintaining value to tokens, to having tokens with revenue models, and then that revenue being used to support the token price, and support the rewards, which actually helps fix things. So right here you can see there's a 5% fee for the sparkler. We're going to end the video talking about sparkler, but let's go ahead and bridge these tokens over. You do have to get 1,000 tokens. That's the minimum amount they're going to let you bridge. I've got, oh wait, actually I don't want to do that. I want to do max. I got a little over 1,100 tokens right here. That's roughly about $60. So it's like a $50 minimum amount that you can move over, but you can move over as much as you want. Okay, so, okay, wait, here, what we need to do here, I'm a dork. I need to cancel all of these. Reject, get my MetaMask all cleaned up, and then hit send. So now I should get a pop-up here in my MetaMask. Sorry, wasn't seeing those. We're going to confirm it. Here you go for a bridge fee. We got 22 cents. Plus, they're going to be taking 0.05 cents. This is the big deal right now. Most of the bridges on pulsechain only come from Ethereum. So you're going to be doing an Ethereum smart contract, which is more than just sending Ethereum. So you're looking probably around like $10 to $15, depending on time of the day, maybe even more if things are congested, just to do that transaction. Would you even pay that amount to move over $50, $60 like I just did? Probably not. So that's going to be moved over here. So now we're going to go ahead and close out the bridge. You can see here, you can hit this history tab and you can see that they will have it here. The chain does normally move pretty quickly, but sometimes it can take a little while for those coins to hit my wallet. So we'll go ahead, close that out. We'll go over here, we'll connect. When it connects, it's going to have me switch networks. It's going to drop me into pulsechain, and then I can go ahead and check my wallet. I believe I have EMP in here, and there we go, 1,000 EMP. Now, the one difference here is I need to get about $50, $60 worth of Ethereum to go into here. Yes, if you're someone coming brand new to this ecosystem, you just want to come over and get involved in this EMP farm, or if you just want to move your tokens over and sell them over here to get your way into the pulse chain, you can do that. It's not really what they want to do. It's why they're going to be adding another token to their bridge relatively soon. But they do understand that some people are going to do that. If you're trying to be a good member of the community of the EMP, though, they don't want us to move our coins over and then dump half of them to get into EMP. The other thing you're going to need to make sure you double check here, there's two versions of liquidity here. There's liquidity 2 and swap v2. When you move over EMP, if you want to swap some of it into ETH, you need to do it here on swap v2. You can't be on swap v1 or your fees might be wrong. The difference here is liquidity here is liquidity that's tied into the main pulse chain swap sites, and everything on swap v2 is their own liquidity. Once this is a full DEX that has their own liquidity pairs for everything and enough liquidity to be hopefully a DEX that rivals the Pulse main DEX, then they will not have this difference. But for now, you have to be more careful. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a regular swap, but I have to go here to swap 2. Right here, I want to go EMP to ETH. Now, I'm not actually going to swap it, but I need to see just about how much ETH I need to get. I need to get about 0.357 wrapped ETH, right? So I'm going to take this number. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to a regular swap now. I'm going to go Pulse, because I've got enough Pulse to do this right now, to wrapped ETH. I want to paste this number in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to change that to a 4, so I get just a little bit extra. As you can see, that's going to be about 1 million pulse. I currently have a little over 7 million pulse. So we'll go ahead and do that swap. I'm not a whale over here in this ecosystem. As you can see, I'm only moving around hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars, but it's still an ecosystem I want to be a part in and share with you guys, because there's some exciting things that are going to happen over here. Okay, so now I've got my ETH. Now, if you had been coming over here fresh, you would have had to do a swap v2 and to get your ETH. But now I'm going to go to liquidity v2 and I'm going to add my liquidity. I'm going to change it to wrapped ETH. I'm going to change it to EMP. I'm going to go ahead and try to max out the EMP, leave myself with just a tiny bit of Ethereum. That way, if I want to, over time, I can move that Ethereum. I can add that Ethereum if I move over a tiny bit. If I move over more EMP, I'll just have a little bit. Or in reality, what I'll end up doing is I'll go ahead and buy a little bit of EMP over here and pair it up with the ETH that I have left once I figure out how much I have left. If I do a max here, see, it's just like 12 EMP. Can I do transactions like that over here on pulsechain? Absolutely. Everything is so cheap over here. It's very easy to do these types of things. All right, we'll go back to the farm here. We'll go to this one. Now, I did have 14 pulse to harvest, but I didn't harvest that because I was going to be adding this new EMP in. As you can see, we got 6 more EMP. Go ahead and stake those. We got 6 more LP tokens. That's going to add to these 22 I have here. Bring us up to like 28 or so. Wait for this to harvest. Now, one of the things about these farms you need to be careful on, there are fees going in and out of them. Make sure you pay attention to the fee to that. As you can see, these ones here have 2% fees. Some here have 4% fees. Well, that one's 2. Let me see if I can find one that's 4. Oh, I think they moved them all to 2%. No, see, this one's 0. If you actually do Spark liquidity, there isn't any. We'll go ahead and do a harvest here to get those tokens. Okay, we got that one with 8. We picked up the ones from this. I'm also in these farms, but these ones, I only have a little bit of hex. It's only $40. This is only $100, and it's only 47%. I don't claim these as often, so I'm going to leave these behind, harvest them a little bit later. And we're going to get over here. We're going to finish the video by talking about Sparkler. So Sparkler is the secret sauce to this project. This, if you look at it, it probably reminds you a little bit of the Hex ecosystem or just a staking platform ecosystem. But how do they get this 127% APR that they're paying out on the Sparkler? Well, they have the bridge that create fees. They have the fees when you go in and out of their liquidity pools. They have an arbitrage bot that is arbitraging their own EMP token between BSC and pulsechain. And then they are also going to have regular DEX fees once they become a full DEX. All of those things are what pays out the Sparkler ecosystem. They don't mint new tokens to pay this. The overall plan for this site is to eventually not issue any more Spark tokens, so it becomes deflationary instead of a token that inflates the way a normal token that you farm on a farming site is earned. So eventually those farms will turn off, and this will be a regular DEX where you can go ahead and stake your tokens to earn liquidity rewards, just regular liquidity rewards. And then those trading fees that are earned when people are doing trading within this DEX will go to feed the Sparkler. The bridge fees when people are moving funds in and out of pulsechain will go into paying Sparkler. The liquidity that they provide to their sister project that they're working on, which is the L1 DEX, which is going to be a 7-chain cross-DEX platform that'll be adding in pulsechain by using the liquidity on Sparkswap, will also be earning all kinds of fees that are paid out to people that stake Spark. Now, when you're staking Spark, you can do maximum stakes, 3,650 days. Yes, I'm now part of that club. I used to be doing these 31-day stakes or 30-day stakes and getting my tokens back. Like as you can see here, I staked 4 tokens for 31 days. I got 190,000 shares. I've earned 21 cents on those. I have 9 days left, and I'm basically going to unstake these. But I started to realize that even though my stakes are small, that's the wrong way to do things, because take a look at this one up here that I staked, and I didn't start doing this on day 1, but I did 18 tokens, similar amount, right? 18.32, 18.39. I staked them for 365 days, and I got a 400 bonus, so I got 900,000 shares, and I've already earned $1.24. So once this $1.24 passes this 457, my earnings will have been paid for my stake. Now, yes, if this site is still around 10 years from now, things are kicking, I'll even get those $4 back. But in the meantime, for the next 10 years, I'm going to continue to collect LP tokens on this stake. And I'm just going to have pages and pages of these stakes. But eventually, you're not going to be able to get these Spark tokens quite as easy as you can today. Yeah, look, they went up a little bit to a quarter since we've been talking from that 24 cents. So it's a very interesting ecosystem. There's a lot more than meets the eye. And this video was a little longer, so if you stuck around for the whole part, thank you very much. And we'll go ahead and end this by doing one more max stake. We got 23 tokens out of our farms today. We'll hit max. And yes, guys, I'm part of that cool 3650 club now. And this one will just get added in here to the bottom. Now, one of the nice things when you're doing these stakes, they actually don't automatically harvest your rewards. So these rewards are going to keep building up. I let this go for a couple days until this is a little bit more. As you can see, my Spark that I've earned and staked into this ecosystem, it's not in this like a really large amount. I just don't have the extra crypto funds to just, dump tons of money into this right now. But it's definitely one that I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to continue to add to my stakes, and I'm going to get these brand new stakes going. Each one of them, $5, $10, $15, $20. And then over time, we'll build up the amount of Spark that we have staked. Now, obviously, this number was bigger when this was a 50-cent token. That's something to remember. But in general, here, I've still been really profitable. I've been doing things responsible. I've been growing my... Oh, yeah, they do have some single staking pools that you can get into. But do remember, they do have fees. These are in and out fees, so you have to be willing to stake these coins here for a pretty long time. I mean, 40% on Ethereum is pretty darn good. So you have to remember that you have to take away 8% of those earnings because you're paying fees. So you have to be able to be here and be willing to be here until you've earned your fees back. And you can do the math. It's usually a month or two to earn enough to pay off those fees. But I've been increasing my USDC farm, my stable farm here. What stable farm am I in? What's this one on the bottom here? This DAI USDC pool. So I'm up to $191 in there. I started with, I think, 170. So I've been putting a little bit of profit into here. That'll help me cover the fees. And then I have a big unstake of Hex coming. When I get that unstake of Hex, I'm thinking about putting some of that into this pool over here. Given this 27% is kind of a smaller APR, but I have to compare it to what we're currently able to earn in the Hex ecosystem. All right, guys, thank you very much. Goodbye.